chained together. If you're on the internet, you've probably seen it. Shit, you probably played it. And if you have played it, then at one point, most likely you thought to yourself, if it was just me, I wouldn't have fallen there. I would have gotten farther. Now imagine you were actually put in that position. This, the wonderful people of YouTube, is the story of Welcome to the Hellevator. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe as we go to hell together. We open with an elevator opening, a 2-for-1, double openings. As we've reached the 404th floor, out the deceased guests pour. We learn along with the guests that this passage reaches all the way down to hell and consists of 666 floors spanning deep underground. And to go between those floors, you need to step onto the Hellevator. And wherever the guests are asked to depart from said elevator is where they will spend the rest of eternity. After that attendant finished her lore drop, she gets approached by the most main character looking person we've seen yet. So I'm guessing that's our protagonist. He asks her to point him to heaven, and she tells him that in order to get there, you have to use an elevator that's located on the ground floor of hell. But as he goes on his way, we learn 2 things. 1, the attendant is named Levi, or Levy, whichever floats your boat. And 2, she was talking to a fugitive. But not just any fugitive, one who was habitually charged with escaping from prison, and while he was alive, he was known as the Escape King, Arnold Keats. So yeah, for sure, our main character. And he's set to be sent down to the 666th floor of hell. Damn. And down there is said to be the worst pain imaginable, on repeat, every day, 24/7 till the end of time. So bro must have been a villain. He probably invented pop-ups or unskippable ads or something. And after some Metal Gear Solid levels of stealth, he successfully sneaked away from the security. Real quick, I just wanted to point out, I mentioned Metal Gear Solid, whose protagonist is Snake, and then proceeded to scatter S's along my next couple sentences, like the hiss sound, like a snake. I thought I ate. Sorry. Well, let's get back to it. But if you got it before I mentioned it, then throw one more S in there and subscribe. Please and thank you. And I'm not the only one who thought he ate. Arnold was walking out like he was that guy, that deceased guy. But to his surprise, Levy was right there, ready and waiting. She puts him in chains, and as they walk together, she introduces herself to Keats, and the 2 chat for a bit. He mentions that if he can make it to heaven, he could maybe be reborn. And Levy tells him that even in the depths of hell, it's never too late to make a fresh start. But as she was saying that, Arnold undid his cuffs and made a run for it. Levy then transforms like she ate the snake fruit, and it only took her a panel to catch up, which is crazy if you think about it, because snakes don't have legs, so she was moving. Levy then hits a tail whip on the bridge. She then does an impression of me, and then throws her spear. No Britney. Then, while jumping out of the way to avoid it, Keats slips, and as he pulls himself up, he gets a flashback. We see a prisoner Keats asking for his release to no avail. Keats then returns to his cell where his cellmate tells him that this is where he belongs, that he's a piece of shit, not even a fart. And that Ice Spice reference didn't sit well with him. He ends up beating his cellmate and afterwards tries escaping, presumably dying in the attempt. Back in the underworld, Keats is able to make it to the heaven elevator. The Heavenvator, I guess. Nah, there's nowhere they call it that. But Keats gets a lucky break. He ends up spotting an old woman that needs help carrying her things, and through helping her with her stuff, he's gained a free ticket into the elevator. She then thanks him and calls him a good person, which causes some internal conflict within Arnold, questioning if he should even be allowed into heaven, especially if this is how he's getting there. But next stop, heaven's floor. The elevator starts making a buzzing sound though, and the passengers guess that the elevator's just too heavy, and that someone will have to get off. As the attendant tries to open the gate, turns out the elevator is dropping down the passage, and at the rate it's going, they'll enter a free fall that'll take them all the way down to hell. As the passengers panic, Arnold thinks to himself that if he wasn't aboard the elevator, these people would have gone straight to heaven. A scared kid then asks Arnold to save them, and he thinks back to Levy's words and opens the gate to jump out. Keats then spots Levy and calls out to her. He gives her his thanks and says it doesn't matter if he ends up in heaven or hell. He's always resisted change, run from his problems, but all of that stops now. Hopping out of the elevator, he says he just wanted to become a better person. Before all was said and done, Levy reaches her tail out to him only to catch air, and as he's racing towards the face of death, he lets out a reluctant grin, and everything cuts to black. A week has passed. we see another fugitive on the run. But Levy is confident that he'll be caught soon, because starting today, she says they have him, and we see Keats in uniform hitting the fugitive with the same speech bubbles we heard from Levy. We then hear that Levy petitioned for Arnold to work alongside her, and they made an exception because he was proof that people can change, even in hell. And Keats admits that he thought by going to heaven he'd become a good person like the rest of them, but that's not how it works. You can't be reborn as a person. The only thing you can do is come face to face with who you are. And to that end, he'll start by giving it his best shot in hell. And as the flood of bodies begin to pour their way in, this time, both Levy and Arnold welcome their guests to the elevator. Thank you for watching. Oh wait, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks again.
Please do tell, do you feel the pain? I'ma go to hell before I say your name. Ring a bell, let them hear your grave. Sinners gotta tell before they die of shame. I trouble souls in rain, I pray to God that nothing is in vain. I hope that you feel the same, when people that they can feel the flame. Time to speak the truth, when all I see is you.